Well, it is 5:30. Yeah.
Well, we got everyone.
And make sure to speak up, because this room sometimes doesn't pick up with the mics. They tried to fix it with some of these panels, but sometimes if you don't speak up, it doesn't pick it up
Okay.
for the folks on Zoom.
Okay,
All right, so we can go ahead and call this meeting to order. So we can go around the room with roll call. We want to start on Zoom. So, Kimmy?
I'm here.
Sophia?
I am here.
Oh, okay. Najla?
Here.
Ben?
Here.
Jason? I'm here. And do you have anybody listening? Do you have anybody who's not here?
Tyler is not here.
Tyler. And Tyler will not be able to attend. So we have quorum and we can conduct business. So the first thing on the agenda is the approval of the approval of the agenda here. So does anybody have anything to add or amend about the agenda?
I would like to add a guest speaker, Matthew Solomon, near the beginning of the agenda, although his schedule has changed since I mentioned it to you, so he doesn't need to leave at 6, but I still think we should add it near the beginning of the agenda.
Sure. Do we want to add it at the end of reports? Is that good? Okay. So we'll add the speaker, Matthew Solomon, at the end of reports.
At the end of reports from everyone,
Yes.
could we add it before reports, just to save him time?
Yeah, sure.
That way he can head out.
We'll add it right before the reports.
Do we have to vote on that?
If that is moved, if it's a motion and someone seconds it, then it would be a motion to amend the agenda to reflect a guest speaker after the approval of the minutes.
Okay.
Make a motion to amend the agenda.
I second it. Yay.
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 Hey, do you have to say that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying yay in the celebratory sense.
Yeah, so you have to take a roll call vote since they're.
Oh, we do have to take a vote.
Yeah.
So now I'll say yay in the real sense.
Just
Yay.
And I say yay as well. Anyway.
Yay. Okay.
Yay again. And because I need to say that again.
I've recorded both of those as yeses.
Okay.
Awesome.
So the approval of last meeting's minutes. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns about those? Okay, let's vote to approve that as well.
Someone needs to make a motion.
I make a
move
motion
that
to
we-
approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
Okay, we need to focus on Zoom first. How do you vote?
Yay.
Sophia?
Yay.
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 Yeah.
All right.
So now that we've added that item before reports, is our guest speaker still on the Zoom?
Yep,
yes.
I'm here.
Well, welcome.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
thanks.
coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me and thanks for making time in your schedule. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I actually have an introduction for Matthew. So as as everyone is aware already who's on the commission, the CAPS Commission has been selected by IU Cinema to participate in their screen share program with local community organizations, where CAPS Commission will be hosting the screening of Matthew's film, Reimagining Safety, which is a documentary that interviews experts on community policing and community safety from all around the US, as well as interviews activists. So it's not just scholarly experts, but also community activists and leaders, some of whom have written similar reports to the one that we wrote. So Matthew has been very positive to our outreach about sharing his film and about traveling to Bloomington to create a Q&A or a panel of experts to speak after the film. I really think this would help make this like a regional draw where, you know, our commission would be seen as a leader in community safety or alternative policing in the region, hopefully. And also a really big part of that would be really solidifying the commission's collaboration with the university and with the appropriate scholars of community policing at the university. So yeah, this is hopefully this event will be a catalyst for change in our community as well as for our commission in general to just simply be wider known. So Matthew and I have discussed briefly the event details, which is for the film screening to take place Saturday, February 24th at 7 p.m. Hopefully everyone's already put that on their calendars. If not, please do so now. With an approximate 90 minutes run time, that would be followed by a panel discussion at 8:30 p.m. with Mr. Solomon, the film director, as well as hopefully some more experts from the film who are featured in the film. So that might include Dr. L. Jones, who published a report similar, who was on a commission that published a report in Nova Scotia, and is a alternative policing expert as well. She's also a scholar. So if we could get that funds to bring her in, I think she'd be a really great fit for that panel. Another possibility is Alex Vitale, who's already a friend of the commission. And Alex has indicated that he could at the very least attend by Zoom if we couldn't find the funds to bring him out in person. I know Matthew's done several events already with film screenings with Q&A panels where they've all been there in person. So they're you know, I've seen some online. They're really good quality. So if we could get, you know, as many people as we can, that would really be fantastic. We also plan to invite, I'm already reaching out to Nicole Siegel, who is an expert on community policing at IU. So I'm already meeting with her to see if she might be available, and also possibly if her department may want to help co-sponsor. And so we've discussed having the commission perform outreach with several IU departments and community organizations. Matthew and I have discussed this, to find more co-sponsors of this event, to both build a coalition in our community around the topic of community safety in Bloomington, and to increase the funds available for bringing in speakers. Because as you know, we requested $1,650 from the city, which I don't think has been funded yet. But even if it's funded, it's really, as you might imagine, just enough to possibly bring in one speaker, which would be Matthew. So we really could hope to get more co-sponsors, but it's not just about the money, it's really about the buy-in. And, you know, because if they co-sponsor the event, they're going to advertise it to their list, and they're going to, you know, feel more a part of this work. And we really are trying to make this a community process. So, and I'm just gonna read Matthew's bio really quickly from the website, which his website for the film is reimaginingsafetymovie.com. And from his bio, Matthew Solomon is a filmmaker, author, and conflict resolution facilitator. Matthew was born and raised in Los Angeles and has been in the entertainment business for most of his adult life. First in music, and then as an award-winning writer and director. His passion for people, equity, and social justice led him to work as a consultant for organizations needing help with conflict resolution and partnership building. During the pandemic, he turned to school to obtain a master's in public administration so that he could have more of an impact in helping to create communities that work for everyone. His course of study involved a deep dive into understanding policing, the carceral system, and public safety. This film was his capstone project. Matthew, the floor is yours.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I'm not sure what to add. I don't know if you all have some questions or anything like that. I will say that, we've done several screenings across the U.S. We've had over 1,000 people attend screenings. We were just at University of Southern California Monday night, had 100 people there for the screening, and there were 5 of us on the panel, and this has been consistent. We're regularly drawing around 80, 90, 100 people. We screened in Memphis back in February, had 180 people there with a coalition of Black Lives Matter Memphis, Decarcerate Memphis. There's a Jewish organization called Bend the Arc, which is a national Jewish organization, and they have local chapters. They've been very supportive of the project, and co-sponsoring events. And so, this has been a really great thing. My intention with the film was to have it be a resource for communities and for people in the work to open the door to conversation and to have it be a bridge, and that's what's been happening, which has been great.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. And so I think that the auditorium or the cinemas building, it holds around 200, and so it would be really great to pack all those seats. So I know we're planning to discuss this outreach in our next outreach meeting to get that outreach done. I've just started a little bit on my own with Nicole, but that's it really. Anyone have any comments, questions about this or for Matthew?
So I was just thinking about like events I've gone to as a student. So when I attended George Washington University, they would have screenings of things and a panel of experts at the end, and they wouldn't broadcast the film for obvious reasons, but they would share the talk back to kind of encourage things. Has that ever been done? Would you be interested in that? Or is this done too?
Yeah, for sure. That's what we did at USC. We stopped the live stream for the film, but the panel was all through Zoom. And actually, we had a screening in Montclair, New Jersey, back in July, where we did the same thing.
So just for clarity, because I do have another meeting with IU Cinema coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm going to invite the outreach committee to that. So just for clarity, we can't show the movie during the live stream. Is that right?
Yeah.
Because it could be illegally copied and whatnot.
Well, yeah, but I was thinking, definitely with the talkback being available, all of the talkbacks after the film are going to be different for each showing, right? But that would also have a greater reach. If people didn't attend, they could see the film, but also see the conversation that forms around it.
Yeah, because it'll be our local community conversation,
Yeah.
as well as hopefully with some local scholars. There's also a local scholar at Ball State that I'm hoping we can reach out to.
Yeah, I wanted to add also along those lines, with most of the talkbacks we've had, there's usually some questions about the film and some reference to the film, but mostly, and this is how I prefer it, is it really becomes a conversation about the topics and what's specific to your community, and whoever else is on the panel from your community, being able to speak to your needs and things like that. So it's funny, there's one of the people in the film, her husband has been to several screenings, and he even brought up one time, he's like, I've noticed nobody talks about the film that much, because people want to jump into the conversation about it. So I think that's something to keep in mind also with the live stream. If people are missing the film, the conversation will still be beneficial, because at the end of the day, it's really about how do we provide systems of care for one another and get away from the punitive system and the punishment system. And the film talks about the budgeting, but also our approach. And if we really cared about people, we would do things differently. And here are the ways that we would do that. So all of that leads to the conversation afterwards.
Matthew, another thing that you and I discussed was having at least the members of our commission who are going to be doing the outreach, to be able to watch the film in advance.
Mhm.
That way, when we talk to other people about it and we give our pitch, we're a little more experts and know what we're talking about, and possibly a little more excited about it. Is that still possible?
Yeah, absolutely. Not a problem.
Yeah, at this point, there's 4 of us on that committee, so we swear to secrecy.
For sure.
Yeah, just don't put it up on YouTube and we're fine.
If people do catch the live stream and want to access the film after the fact, where can they look for the film?
It's interesting because we're talking about doing this in February. And so we're negotiating a distribution deal right now. So I'm hoping that by the time this rolls around, we can say, yeah, go watch it. Go tell your friends to watch it on Amazon or iTunes or, cable or something like that. Right now, there's not a way to do that except for the community screenings. But hopefully by February, that'll be an option also.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, does anyone have any last questions or comments for Matthew? Tammy or Sophia?
No, I was just thinking the group that worked on the conditions of the jail might be interested in attending.
Care Not Pages?
Yes.
Yeah, Nicole Siegel is in that group as well, and I'm actually going to be talking with her in a couple of days about having her department possibly sponsor and that group.
Okay.
Yeah, I really hope they can sponsor as well as the Indiana Recovery Alliance. It'd be great to get Black Lives Matter to co-sponsor. Does anyone have a connection to Black Lives Matter Bloomington? Anyone here?
I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that'd be great. Yeah, we need to talk. Well, you're already on the outreach committee, so. We need to contact for them. Okay, great. Yeah, so yeah, we're really, I think it'd be amazing to get 4 or 5 community organizations and 3 or 4 or 5 IU departments and really make this a community event, Sophia, did you want to add anything before Matt?
Hi, Matthew. Thank you so
Hi.
much
Yeah,
for
thank you.
joining us, and it's pleasure meeting you. We have already seen your documentary information, Nejla forwarded us some weeks ago. I think we are talking about the same documentary, right? Imagining the safety.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and we are gonna see it in the IU cinema hall, right? That's the plan. That's what we are doing. And I'm just curious if because we don't have access to the entire documentary. So what I understood from your statement, you're just saying that you are gonna discuss about non-intervention methods of addressing the criminal cases, right? So in when you say like what type of resolutions are you, I'm just curious that the resolutions or kind of suggestions that you try to impose in your documentary. So I assume that you are criticizing the criminal justice system and racial problems. So could you please summarize like what is the outcome or the main idea you want to impose on your viewers?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. And yeah, and I'm happy also to, provide a screener to you all to preview it before the event, just so, you know what it's about. But basically I approached it, excuse me, as, the first part of the film is these are the problems with policing and incarceration and the harms that it causes to specific communities. And then the middle section is why it's like that. The history, there's a former LAPD officer who talks about her training and the mindset and the way that they've been trained to deal with people, but not really trained how to like talk to people and the whole like, there's no de-escalation training. It's all like, I'm in charge, you got to do what I say. And so she talks about that at length. And she was also in internal affairs. And so she was part of a group that was supposed to investigate other officers who were accused of committing wrongdoing. But all of that was very political and, they don't really, nothing really got resolved. And then the last part of and we also talk about propaganda and the way the media is involved with, TV and film and the news media and how that feeds into the narrative. And then the last part of the film are the alternatives. So abolition, restorative justice, community responder models, resourcing communities, housing, clothes, education, jobs, and all of the things that are shown, and the people in the film talk about this, are shown to reduce crime. Because when people have resources, there's not the need and the desperation to go out and, as Nejla mentioned, Elle Jones in Nova Scotia, she talks about this in the film. She co-authored a 200-page report on what it means to defund the police and all the elements that are involved and, where that money goes. And so that's laid out very clearly. And actually, one of the things I'm really proud of is I have, some of my friends who are, quote, white liberals who are like, yeah, we're very liberal, but, who do we call if there's a problem? We got to call the police. Saw the film and literally were like, I was afraid of defund the police. Now I understand what it is. And then they go out and talk about it. And so it's all of that. We talk about the Cahoots program in Eugene, Oregon, and the STAR program in Denver, Colorado. And what was that?
I'm sorry, I was whispering across the table to ask one of our commission members to get his church social justice task force to co-sponsor it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so that's all right. Yeah, so that's essentially what's in the film.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's good that it explains what defund the police is, because a lot of people don't really understand what the concept means, and they just hear the term defund the police and they're turned off from it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea that it explains that. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks.
I think actually, a lot of people assume the worst automatically, that people who say defund the police, like, literally don't have any other alternatives in mind, and they haven't thought out what's next, So hopefully his film is a good catalyst for people to say, oh, actually, people have thought of other alternatives. Oh, look, actually, we have a commission here in Bloomington who's done so.
Cool.
Okay, well, if there's no other questions for Matthew, thank you so much for attending.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
you're free to get on with your evening in California, whatever time it is out there. And afternoon.
3 hours,
yeah.
right? 3 hours difference, yeah.
Yeah, 3:00.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for
Thank you so
attending
much.
our meeting.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Okay, thanks for letting me squeeze that in. Regular report.
Regular reports, co-chairs first. Well, in terms of co-chairing, I don't think I have anything to report on the broad commission. We did reschedule to today, and since we have we've had some resignations. We might. I think this time still works for everyone, but
I think Sophia mentioned that this time doesn't work for.
Yeah, I think that,
Oh,
that
this
we're
time,
talking
sorry,
about that later.
Yeah, it's actually on the
It's on
agenda,
the agenda.
under new business.
So,
that's all.
yeah, I'm wondering, 2 people has resigned, right, have resigned. So are we gonna find other members, or we are good to continue with the number of people right now? So how does it work?
We don't find we don't find the members, the council selects members.
Awesome, yeah, okay. So we just need to wait until the end of the year? This is how, or if they have application, they can just appoint?
I can explain the process. I know staff report isn't right now, but I can explain it during staff report if that makes the most sense.
Yeah,
Great.
that'll work.
Okay,
So we'll address that.
yeah. I do not have much to report either. Most of what I've been doing has been related to outreach. Hopefully we can get a local speaker for our outreach event. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Any individual members, any reports?
I have a report. I wanted to say, shout out to Cammie for taking one for the team last week. And I don't know if everyone knows, but, I let Cammie know that it looked like we weren't gonna make quorum last week. And, I tried to go pick her up and she agreed to come. And, she unfortunately had a fall and sprained her ankle. And so neither of us were able to make it to the meeting. So I just wanted to say shout out, commendation to Cammie for going above and beyond and risking her life and limbs to make it to
Thank
our
you.
meetings.
Thank you.
But, and now Cammie is barred from trying to enter my vehicle. I also wanted to report that myself and other other commission members, CAPS commission members, have met with 2 council members now in talking about the report and our progress. So far, it seems promising with the council. However, Mayor Hamilton has not yet included the budget in the feasibility study in his budget. And obviously that, well, it's not obvious, but that needs to happen before the council can vote on it. And so anything we can do to get endorsements on that letter to Mayor Hamilton asking him to include it in his budget would really be influential. So if you're holding out on any contacts with organizations that you know or people who might be able to endorse that letter, like now's the time to hit them up and say, hey, you know what, you could really help push us over that hump. You know, Mayor Hamilton gonna see your name and be like, they're the experts on this that I need to listen to.
I thought that we might have had an alternative route with the council outside of the mayor's budget.
Let's
Is that
turn
still
off-
a possibility
An alternative route, meaning.
for funding the report?
Oh, yeah, so if it's not funded in the 2020, so if the mayor doesn't put it in his initial, which he didn't put it in his initial budget, it's possible for the council, as far as I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, Ash, it's possible for the council to request the mayor to add something into his budget. So, that could still happen, I think. I don't think they're done. Another alternative is if it's not included in the 2024 budget, then, and that's actually what I was gonna report next, is overall, I think the outlook is about 50-50 for getting it funded in the 2024 budget. However, we are still hopeful that the commission might have the recommendation funded sometime early next year by the new administration. So that's a possibility that has been shared with us, just in general, how the city works, it could happen. And so, yeah, I think the outlook's about 50-50. So I just wanted to report on that.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I mean, it's pretty much what Nejla said. Nejla actually invited all of us, and she already mentioned some committee members. So I have attended 3 events of different commissions with Nejla. And Nejla's communication goes to everyone, so you see everything that she is writing is also including what happened during the sessions and afterwards as well. I'm sorry I missed the outreach meeting last time because I was at an orientation. But I received an email about the update about the, I think not the minutes, but what happened. So I'm fine with the few things that you want to do. I think I already said yay, so I'm fine what you have decided on last meeting.
Thank you.
And I would
Yeah.
just like to say thank you to Najla for all the hard work that she puts in and all the meetings that she goes to, because when we're not there, she's at every one.
Yeah, I think she's very detailed and she sent so many emails to all of us. So I mean, she already mentioned everything else, so I don't have anything more to add.
Well, thank you, Cammie. I happen to be a very stubborn person, so I can't take total credit for that. I think I inherited some of that, but thank you very much for that, saying so.
Well, if I might interrupt you, I think that's a first and a second to thank you. So I think we need to take a vote on that. Just kidding.
Are we gonna vote on whether I'm stubborn?
Yeah.
I'm not voting. I abstain from that vote.
Any committee reports?
I would just like to say that the Reparations Committee and the Monroe County History Center have picked a date for the event for Genealogy Day, and it is November 18th. We don't have a time yet, as far as I know, but we need to have a meeting soon with them and work that out.
You said November 18th?
Yes,
Yes, I think that's a Saturday, and
yes, it's a
and I think
Saturday.
preliminarily we discussed like early afternoon-ish.
Yeah.
Right. So that people can go to the library and do research, and to the History Center and do research after the talk is finished.
And we also decided that Cammie would be a speaker at that event.
Yeah.
Not the lead,
I was not there.
Speaker, but a second.
I was not there when that was decided, but I am speaking about my family.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She had left. Well, because our main speaker is from
Louisiana.
Louisiana, and to make it more of a local event, I asked Cammie if she might be able to share her own genealogical history, which I find extremely compelling reason why we need to put this event on.
Yeah, and in terms of potentially someone to talk about resources available locally, the person that I was talking with at the NAACP does not have the capacity to participate. So
The what? At the what?
NAACP.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but I have a new contact, someone that does a lot of outreach at Middle Way House, is in the same theater group as Gladys Devane, who's someone
Oh,
who,
Gino's mom.
Oh,
Yeah, they're,
so-
I'm related. I'm friends with their relative.
Yeah,
oh, well, then you should ask them.
well.
No, I'm not that close. It's been like
Brainstorming with
30
my
years.
coworker.
It's been
So,
30 years, so.
Oh, okay.
On the side, on Sunday, she attends my church. And I
Oh,
asked her and she said she would try to put me in contact with someone.
okay, well, that's great.
Yes.
Well, I was like brainstorming with my coworker, people that I could ask, and she came up, my coworker said that she's talked to Gladys about genealogy and that it's like a personal interest of hers.
Okay.
And just because she's such an influential person in the community, I thought that she
Yes.
would be a good person to reach out to. So,
She seemed immediately happy to be asked, so.
Oh, yeah.
I can follow up.
Put her on as well, we could discuss it in the reference.
yeah, I'll connect with you, we
Can you
can,
attend the next
do all that
reparations
together.
committee meeting, possibly?
When is it?
I don't know, but let's invite Jason to the next. Who's the chair of the reparations committee? Is it you or Tammy?
It's
Tammy,
me.
could you invite
Tammy,
Jason to the next meeting?
Kamala, yeah.
Yes.
yeah, okay. That's great, okay, well, that's even better of a connection, yeah, she's like sponsored Rats and Laughs, which is really
And
the
we should
only way
also
that I
discuss in the next meeting for you to reach out to Black Lives Matter about sponsoring that event. Okay. Great.
And let me know, keep me in the loop of when the next meeting is so I can get it.
Yes, I don't think that there is a next reparations
There
committee
isn't
meeting,
a
but
next
there
one
will
scheduled.
be.
I've been dealing with my illness and just trying to get back and forth places, and it's been a challenge right now.
And that's totally fine. I just want to make sure it gets on the calendar, rooms reserved, all that.
Yeah, but I guess we need to have one soon, so,
Yeah, we should have one soon because the event's in 2 months now.
yeah.
Oh, goodness, yeah, yeah.
Can you send out a scheduling thing for that, Ash?
Like a poll.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can make like a when is good.
thank you.
Any reports? We kind of already talked about the outreach.
Oh, I had a little bit to report for outreach
Okay,
committee.
go ahead.
So I wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who has helped perform co-commission outreach. It's a pretty big lift and a pretty big ask, especially for newer members like Patty and Sophia, who just joined the commission right when we were releasing the report. And, you know, to sort of pick it up and go into other commissions in the community and go, hey, would you endorse this? And, you know, send a letter to the mayor about it. Like, it's a pretty big lift and a big ask. And so you guys have been phenomenal about that and for, you know, offering your time and to step up and make sure that got done. And so thank you for that. I want to report that we got one commission endorsement last night. The Bloomington Commission on Sustainability voted unanimously to endorse the letter to Mayor Hamilton. And so that has been conveyed to the mayor and the city council as of today. I don't know how influential that will be. I know council member Dave Rollo was one of the founding members of that commission. He used to be the council member on that commission before it was Matt Flaherty. And so, you know, who knows? But yeah, I think commission endorsements are extremely valuable at this point. And so reporting on that, we haven't gotten any no's from commissions yet, but I did a follow-up with the staff liaisons. As you guys, some of you know, the process for reaching out to commissions has been fairly unclear from the city. And as you know, we've proactively asked many people at the city for advice on how to do this, gotten many different answers. And we haven't gotten any no's from commissions, but we have had it reported to us that more than one commission has been advised not to vote on the endorsement, to even vote on it. Because it's either inappropriate or considered not relevant or whatever, different reasons given. And we're not sure whether that advice has come from the legal department. We're not sure if it's come from this liaisons themselves, but Ash and Stephen are diligently working to find answers for us. And I have asked Ash, I think, and Stephen, but mostly Ash, to provide us with clarity on this matter as soon as they are able.
Some commissions have decided amongst themselves to potentially endorse it as individuals, though. Is that true? That's what
It's really a decision for the commissions to decide. I mean,
Yeah.
anyone could always endorse it individually. And so.
But even in some
The
commissions.
commission liaisons who've said, oh, well, I don't think they're gonna vote on it as a commission, but they could do it individually. That sort of like goes without saying, they could always do it individually anyway. The commission doesn't need to vote to allow them to endorse something individually. So I would say that's always the case. I would also say that if our commission had been accurately told by the city that most of these commissions were not going to be allowed to even vote to endorse this letter, then our approach would have been much different. I believe the strategic approach I suggested would have been totally different. As you know, I obviously considered that having several commissions endorse this would be valuable in convincing the mayor and city council. But apparently, there are structures in place that is not going to allow that to happen, especially in time. You know, we may get some endorsements maybe months down the line if we follow the trail of crumbs that we're being given. I mean, at this point, the commissions that are letting us come back to speak are letting us come back to speak during public comment again, right? And I don't even think people on these commissions, most of them have even been sent the link to the report. So I know a lot of them were just given the handout without giving the link. And so, of course, if you ask someone, hey, would you vote to endorse a new department without having read our report? Well, I know I would say no. So it's not, you know, I don't think it's really been, you know, I don't think we're going to be getting those commission endorsements, unfortunately. So in a timely way.
We've confirmed that there are certain commissions that are not allowed to vote on this type of thing.
That I would say that there are commissions whose liaisons are not planning to add it to the agenda or to ask the commission members themselves whether to add it to the agenda.
Okay, so it's not,
From my understanding of what I've been told.
I knew that there is like discussion of legislative versus executive.
Yeah, that was told by one
Commission?
liaison, but then when Ash followed up with the legal department,
Okay,
the person Ash spoke to at the legal department had not heard of that
okay,
and did not know who might have wrote it. And so they are doing further investigations to find out how that might have arisen or who might have written that. It's a mystery at this point.
I can explain more if that's helpful.
Yeah.
So I reached out to City Attorney Mike Worker to inquire about the guidance that was received by, I believe, a staff liaison of one of the commissions. I think there had been discussions in legal about how to handle CAS seeking this endorsement from other commissions. Because CAS is created by this commission is created by the city legislative body, the council, whereas other commissions are created by the mayor's office. So that's the difference between executive and legislative in this instance. There are no appointed members by the mayor's office to this commission. It's just the city council. So there were rumblings of an opinion that it is most appropriate for a commission appointed solely by the city legislative body to report only to the city legislative body and not ask for endorsements from the mayor's side of things. That isn't official guidance being sent out to people, to my knowledge. It is something that I think folks have been talking about, and so I'm waiting to hear back as to whether there is official guidance. I think what I have been told is the most appropriate is basically it is up to each board and commission to decide himself for itself what it wants to do based on, you know, whether it is appropriate for the under the purview of what that board or commission does. So it's a relevance question.
However, when I asked Ash whether that decision should be made by the commission members or whether it will be made by their staff liaisons on their behalf, Ash did not know the answer to that question. And it appears, from what I've been told by the staff liaisons who told me they do not plan to add it to the agenda, that this is a decision they've made on behalf of the commission.
Yeah.
They have not said, this commission discussed it and took a vote and decided not to, you know, endorse it.
I mean, that seemed pretty clear from some of the emails that I
So
saw.
I want to clarify that when Ash says each commission should decide for themselves, they have not clarified who gets to decide for the commission.
Ash, are there any other commissions that are in the same situation that we are, where everyone is appointed by the council?
So this is the only commission that exists that only has appointees by the council. Some boards and commissions exist that have mixed. The mayor appoints some, the city council appoints some, others are, I think, off the top of my head, but this is the only one that has appointees only by
Oh, okay.
the council. I think when it comes to.
So we would be the only legislative commission if there were legislative.
Yes, in other words, there's a rule specific, I mean, anyway, and you know, the way it was written made it pretty clear it was written about our report. You know, a rule that was made
Well,
after we did our outreach about whether or not we could do outreach.
yeah, I mean, certainly if
After
if
we
we
had
were the only
specifically
people in
asked
that
for legal guidance
situation.
before we begun.
Well, have you tried to get our support for this report?
I mean, I think we get our support for the
So
report.
I did ask Ash, I mentioned it in the email, would you prefer for the CAPS Commission to take a vote in the meeting tonight to request that someone from the city legal department come to speak to us about this? Or can you just pass that request on?
I
I'm
mean,
fine to pass it, yeah. How about you guys?
I think, Sophia, I think that,
We're asking
she's
Ash
asking
if she
Ash.
wants, if they want us to vote on this.
Okay,
I mean,
We're not voting on it yet.
I don't, it's not up to me whether or not you want to vote on something. I think that's up to the commission. I wanted to clarify, I think the issue of whether or not it's up to the board or commission itself or the staff liaison, I'm still looking into that. And I think, you know, it's the, I think the process that I spoke with Stephen Lucas today about this issue. And I think he clarified that the process for going about, you know, asking boards and commissions to attend their meetings and have this on the agenda. He said that the process is to go through the liaison. I don't know if for certainty whether the relevance question is up to members on the board or commission or staff liaison itself. I think the question is about, you know, spending time on business appropriate to the board or commission and under the because the purview of it is limited. So like, I think the question is what I've been told by city attorney is that is this relevant to the mission, purpose, and the reason the board or commission exists? And I think if it's not, it doesn't mean you can't come to the meetings. I think what I heard before was that you can still come
And speak at public comment.
right? And you can still ask for individual endorsements from individuals.
I would
So-
like to make a motion at this time for the CAPS Commission to request Mike Raucher or someone else from the city legal department who is authorized to give legal advice on this issue to attend a CAPS meeting to address the question of CAPS outreach
I'll second
directly, rather than getting the information secondhand through our staff liaison.
I will second it with that clarification. People on Zoom?
So we'll take a voice vote.
I motion that we take a vote.
Oh, well, we're voting now.
Oh, yay,
It's moved and
Yay.
seconded.
yay.
Sophia, you're muted.
I'm okay, as Kamala said, yay. Yeah.
Say yay.
Yay.
I vote yes.
Okay.
I was like, right, looking.
Or do we have any other, the research committee?
Yeah, so currently it's just Sophia and I. And so,
I don't know if you received my email, James. So when we first talked about it, I wasn't sure about my full schedule. I had to change and swap few classes just to be in the right level of some language classes I was taking. So there are some changes on my schedule. So I don't know if you received my email. I told you maybe we can find another time to reschedule the day.
well, it's actually on the agenda to discuss, the dissolution of the research committee. Because, the members that we had discussed dissolving it before, but a previous commissioner wanted to keep it, as a place for research.
Shelby.
As encouragement. But when we talked about potentially dissolving it, then we said we don't necessarily need a research committee to bring research to the commission and vote on that. And so because since we initially tried to dissolve it, I don't think we've had a full meeting since then. So I would strongly encourage us to consider dissolving it again,
Okay.
and then just supporting each other in
Okay.
research.
I'm fine with it too, yeah. I mean, we are already talking in this group, so yeah, we might not need another meeting. So we are already
Yeah.
discussing many things here. I agree.
You can always still meet in sub-quorum groups and do your own individual research. Especially if this committee is dissolved, it wouldn't fall under the purview of having to always have a meeting, have it noticed, be there. So if you want to just conduct your individual like projects on a sub-quorum basis, you would be able to do so.
I move that we vote to dissolve the research committee. I
I
second.
second it.
Do that by voice vote. Sophia?
Yeah, I already mentioned I'm fine. I'm saying yay.
Yay,
Cammy? Yeah, yay from him. Nisha?
Yes. Yes.
And yes. Yes, that is this now.
So I think that's all our committees. Yeah. Ash, I know that you kind of got maybe into parts of the staff report
Yes.
already. Do you have anything left to
I
report?
did. I have a couple of things. So there have been a couple of resignations I wanted to make known during the meeting. So I think Carolyn, Leland, Buck, and Matthew, they're both resigned after last meeting before this meeting. So that makes you a commission of 6. I know Sophia had a question about how that works. Once there's a resignation, I take that information and give it to the deputy clerk, one of the clerks in the office, and the clerk's office updates the information on board and then sends out that information to the interview committee on the city council responsible for interviewing potential applicants and appointing them to the committee. So the council members on the interview committee should be being told about this, and at some point they will hold interviews. It really all depends on whether applications are still coming in, because there have been vacant seats for a while. So but the interview committee should be interviewing potential applicants and then they'd be appointing them. So as folks have joined the commission since, that's how the process works. That makes you a commission of 6. Quorum is 4, but in-person number is 3. I think I touched on the endorsements. Yeah, and I think the only other thing is at the meeting on September 20th, the city council has scheduled to conduct the 2-year review of the tax commission. I think what that means is I am going to write a memo And I think Stephen Lucas is going to give a brief summary of the things, that you've done over the course of 2 years. And it'll give the council an opportunity to conduct a review. They might do it then and there, they might decide to, wait until they do a different process, but basically the opportunity to do that mandatory 2-year review under ordinance 2020 will be presented at the September 20th meeting, at 6:30, or when reports are scheduled, but the meeting starts at 6:30. Those were the 2 things I had. If anyone had any other questions for me about anything, please feel free to reach out.
Are we allowed to speak then, or?
I think it depends on when, if that makes sense. So if you're coming to comment at public comment, I think that would make sense. Though usually public comment is for items not on the agenda. I'll confirm, but I think it's not a report of the tax commission. So no one is reporting from the commission. So you're not required to say anything, if that's what you're asking. If you want to make a comment, I would assume the best way to do so would be public comment, but I need to confirm that you can still do so since it would be an item on the agenda. I don't think they prohibited that when it comes to reports. But I can ask and make sure if they ask questions, I would assume if you're there to answer them, since the council tends to have questions, that would be appropriate if you'd like to attend. But I don't think that your presence is required by any means.
Okay.
Moving on to, taking over for you guys.
Public comment?
Right, yeah, so we can move to reports from the public. Is there any comments from the public in person or on Zoom? Do we have anybody on Zoom?
There's no one on Zoom at the moment. No one is on Zoom. So we have one member.
Who is the Zoom title? Cats?
Cats.
That's the public access television that films the meeting.
Okay.
Yes, so they record and televise the meetings.
No comment, we can move on. So we have a scheduled brief recess. Do we still want to keep that?
I don't need a recess.
I don't either, but I know Cammie has wanted a recess in the past. Not to put everything on you, but Cammie, if you need a recess, it's no problem.
I'll just go off camera for a little bit.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Cammie.
So, can we schedule our meeting next time at the same time?
It's on the agenda
Okay.
under new business.
Okay.
All right. So if we don't need a recess, we'll keep moving on. So the first item on new business is the tabled item. So the anti-trans state legislation response, which was shared during the or before the meeting. Did everybody get a chance to look at that? Do we have anything to discuss specifically about that?
So that's something that Carolyn was taking point on. Is there anyone else who feels that that's something that they personally want to work on? Or is that something that we're able to just work on as a commission?
I personally feel that it's a topic the commission should look at addressing. I personally am not an expert on that topic, and I don't feel I have the time or capacity to become an expert on it or to review this legislation response in time. to do that, but I would support, if another commission member wanted to take the lead on the project, I would support having the commission vote on it. So, wait a minute, so it's already, the proposed resolution is already finished?
Yes, so I can explain this as
So the
well.
question is really just, should we vote on it or not?
Right, so Carolyn, Liebenbach, former, tax commission member, talked about, during one of the previous meetings, I don't know who all was in attendance for that meeting, but, discussed that this would be an issue that, she felt strongly about, making some sort of, response or, statement, to, the city council mayor about these issues with regard to anti-trans legislation in the state legislature. So I reached out and offered to assist. I drafted the sample resolution and went back and forth with her on the language. She liked it and was gonna present it at one of the meetings where I think we couldn't get to it. You all, I think, went over time during that meeting. So if you had any questions, I know when she resigned, she said that she would hope that someone would pick it up, but so that's why I left it on the agenda. But if no one wanted to pick it up, it could be something that doesn't get decided or considered or passed. I left it on and I included the resolution as drafted. I updated it because things have happened since the last meeting. But I included it in the packet if anyone wanted to pick it up as something that they wanted to present or put forward in front of the commission today or a future date, depending on what folks wanted to do.
So if someone did want to pick this up, the next steps could be as simple as proposing that we add to next month's agenda a first reading of this resolution and that we vote to approve it in the second meeting after that.
And there's no formal process in which you need to do first and second readings. But if you wanted to propose that as an option, you certainly can.
Could we vote on it tonight?
I think you could. I mean, under there are no rules that specifically limit you from.
I would suggest that we might not have time to discuss it and vote on it tonight based on what we still have left on the agenda.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea. I must admit that I did not realize
I'm not ready to vote
that it was
on it.
entirely written. So
Yeah,
I would
I didn't see
appreciate the chance to read it a little bit more slowly.
Okay.
So what I'm asking is there any sitting commission member who wants to propose? Because in order for us to vote on something, a cast member has to propose it, not Ash, is what I'm saying. So
I'll
is there
propose
anyone
it.
who formally wants to propose? Okay,
Was that, did someone say they?
That's me.
yeah.
And we can talk about what,
Yeah,
what. was
yeah, I
drafted.
mean, it's definitely an issue that I care about. I just didn't want to write it necessarily.
Right. I care about it, but I don't know enough about it to be on the lead. So
So, do we need to vote to table it or,
No, you can
Okay, then we
decide
can
to
just
table it.
move
first
on.
time.
okay,
Is that gonna be for,
We could plan to vote on it next month even.
right,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I will say that, we should all read it before next month and we can
Yes.
vote on it. Especially, so what drew my attention in it was the end of the second page. The statistics on who is affected by the legislation constantly being proposed. So I think it's absolutely essential and near to my heart. So. All right.
so the discussion on the CAP's response to the Monroe County 911 Review Committee's recommendations for alternatives to police response to 911 calls for service.
Yeah,
That is a long
I think the name of our report was better. and briefer.
So I have read what you sent out. Did everyone receive that response that I believe Najla drafted?
Yes, and I will say I read it as well. And I thought the responses were all very aptly targeted. I think it's very important that we respond to those things. So thank you for that.
Yeah, maybe we should do a round robin, just to make sure we've got everyone's feedback on it.
So doing a round robin, Sophia, did you?
Excuse me, someone is waiting in the waiting room. Should I admit this person? Sam?
Yes,
Dor-
I'll add it.
Okay, thank you.
And now, Sophia, did you have
Any comments about?
I mean,
this,
I also want to get more information before I make comment. I saw the email you just forwarded. I think Caroline, that was Caroline's proposal, right?
No,
Initially?
now we're discussing the commission response to the
Yeah.
final recommendations.
We moved on to the next item.
Okay, so, okay, I think I missed the point. The voice is coming, going on down. Can you please repeat it one more time before I say yay or nay?
So we're moving on to 6B on the agenda, which is the discussion to the Monroe County 911 Review Committee's report. And Najla had sent out the drafted response. Right now it was just a brief response, just 2 pages. And we were asking if you had any feedback regarding that response that she drafted.
Okay, I didn't have a chance to read the response yet. I just checked all of my emails. I also didn't see the agenda. That's why I didn't print out today. Can someone forward it to me in seconds?
The Monroe County 911 Review Committee.
The draft CAB's response. Yeah.
It should be in the packet still.
Oh, it's in the packet,
Yeah, so.
the meeting packet.
I agree with the response.
Excellent.
Well, it sounds like enough commission members have read it for us to discuss and take a vote on it. Cami, did you have any other feedback or comments?
I don't
in
have any
general?
other feedback or comments now, just that I agree with the response.
Okay, I'm checking the all the email exchanges about this thing. I still couldn't locate it. I do apologize.
It's okay.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, if you
Yeah, I thought it did a good job, like,
Yeah.
you
can you please briefly
agreed
summarize?
with certain aspects, disagreed
Najla.
with certain aspects. I thought it was
I
like
think
a
Ash
holistic
is trying to
view
send it
of
to you
our
now.
viewpoint in comparison.
I'm gonna have
to
a
their
very
report.
quickly while you talk.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I am checking.
Oh,
my-
so yeah, Sophia, Ash is sending it to you.
Okay.
But if it's okay with you, we're just gonna go ahead and discuss it now,
Okay.
the people who have read it.
Okay,
Okay,
sounds good. And if you want to briefly, Najla is very good at briefly telling the main point. So what is the main point? Oh, I just received it.
Oh, yeah, I can
Yeah.
summarize it, yeah. So the summary is that, there is a committee that was created by Mayor Hamilton.
Okay,
That's called the Monroe County 911 Review Committee. And
okay,
it's called Monroe County. It's a bit deceiving because even though it's called Monroe County, it actually was created by the city, by the mayor, a committee, to review the 911 dispatch process. And
Okay.
correct me if this is wrong, Ash. This is how I understand it. And this committee was headed by a steering committee that I think was led or at least included Police Chief Decoff,
okay.
your friend. I say that jokingly because Sophia got her picture taken with him when we spoke to the Public Safety Board.
Okay,
that
he's
night.
so kind. Yeah, I have a picture with the chief of
And the report, they produced a report 1 month after our report was produced on a somewhat similar subject because it's called Alternatives to Police Response to 911 Calls. So they were
Okay.
looking at a somewhat similar task as our commission.
Okay,
And they published this report August 2nd, and there are many recommendations in the report for
Okay.
them to add things like social workers to the police department and nurses to dispatch. And so I didn't have us respond to those because I think we generally would support all of that. But specifically, I drafted a response to 3 items that I thought the commission would not support or would like to revise. And those are one recommendation for the city to fund a $60,000 consulting fee for a firm to change the dispatch operations. This firm was specifically named, and it's led by a retired law enforcement officer in Evansville, Indiana, who specializes in cost cutting and reducing overhead for departments.
Okay.
And we objected to that based on that there is no evidence that this firm was selected in a way that reflects the needs, priorities, or desires of the community. And also that it's not clear how cost cutting or overhead reducing might help solve the persistent staffing problems of the county dispatch. We also objected to, well, actually not objecting, but they recommended using data modeling to determine future emergency workers' skill sets and capacity needs, very similar to our own key recommendation too. And the only thing I added was that the CAPS Commission would like to be included in the team that they are suggesting that they'd like to fund the BPD to work with IU Crisis Technology and Learning Center. And I simply recommended that CAPS Commission be included as an equal partner in that effort. Because why are we working in silos? If BPD is working with them and we have in our report that we'd like to work with them, why not just say, hey, like, why not just include us? And then the third one is the recommendation in the report is to explore sending drones, like flying drones to respond to crises. And
what is that gonna do?
Objected based on the fact that there is no evidence included in the report that correlates the use of this technology with improving community safety outcomes. And furthermore, the commission is concerned that the use of drones to respond to calls for help may be perceived as costly, unnecessary, and militaristic. And that a better use of funds would be to strategically reduce the problems that are making people call for help so those are the 3 things.
Okay, I say yay. I mean, it's very solid recommendations.
So it sounds like there's no suggested revisions.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll have to move to accept it.
Sorry, I was shouting so she could hear me.
I move to accept the discussion and vote, or the CAPS response to Monroe County 911 Review Committee's recommendations for alternative to police response to 911 calls for service.
I second it.
Sure.
All right, we'll take a voice vote. Sophia?
Yay.
Yay.
Nejla?
Yay.
By the way, Nisha, thank you so much. You explained things very clearly in a short time. That's very good skill. Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks. Thank you. Did you vote, Jason?
Yes, so yeah.
Okay.
So you also have revisions to the alternative public safety report?
So sorry, I just wanted to clarify, this response then would be sent to, I would suggest that this response be sent to the mayor's office, the council. I guess that's all who needs to get it, because I think those are the people who received this report. As far as I know, the report hasn't been shared publicly, to my knowledge.
Are we able to share, to send it to the review committee?
That committee, I don't know. Are we able to send it to the Monroe County 911 Review Committee as well?
I would imagine, yeah, if you'd like me to send this past response to folks within the city or
I know Chief Decoff is on the steering committee, so we could always just send it to him ourselves.
I need to find contact information for like the chair of that committee.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it would be best, I agree with you that it would be good to send it to the mayor and the council, but I think if it's a response to their report, that it would be most important to send it to that committee.
Agreed. So Ash will look into who might be the appropriate contact.
Yeah,
for
and
that
if you know
committee.
who I think I can look at their report and
I assumed it was Chief Decon, but it might be because it seemed like,
I can also post this on your website, as a.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we can post it to the website.
That would be good as well.
Yes. What did you just smack your face for?
We can put it on the website so everyone can see it.
Oh, I was just looking at the last, do I look very weird? I'm sorry. I was just looking at the last email Ash sent, sorry. Do I look weird? Are you?
No,
I
Jason.
think
It was something that Jason did.
I mean, I think it would also be good to put it on the website, but I think, you know, it's like a sign of professionalism, you know, for responding to
Sure.
something that they said, we want to share our response with them.
Yeah,
Right.
Putting it on the website was like, I don't know, a bumper sticker or something.
oh, I see. So you prefer for us to find out who the contact is, send it to them, as well as the mayor and council first.
Right.
Yeah,
And then maybe we'll put it on the website later.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not necessarily saying that there needs to be a significant delay. I would just like to give them the opportunity to
Oh, in
read it.
addition to putting it on the website.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
I really think it should be shared with the public because I'm not sure if their report has been shared with the public. So us sharing a response to it might help that transparency take place.
I received a press release from the city that with something that was, I'll have to look at that. Because it was using similar language, but I don't think it
So
actually
maybe it has
contained
been
that.
shared.
I don't think it contained that information though, so I'll have to
Well,
look
once we
back on
find
the
out who
email.
the contact is, let's ask them if it has been shared with the public.
Mm-hmm. Are we okay to move on?
I think so.
Okay, would you like to share? I assume these revisions are from you?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, so one of the council members that we met with, very embarrassingly to me, pointed out some factual errors in our report around like the year the commission was made. And this is just totally my fault because the last 3 years have felt to me like 30 years. And so, I said that our commission had been working on this for 3 years when it's really just been 2. I think that's the main one. And then maybe there's also, hang on. So it's in the background and summary. So, specifically in the background where it says, oh yeah, so it said, we changed, yeah, the date, so it's first of all, that we have been working on this for 2 years instead of 3. And that the commission was founded in November of 2021 rather than in 2020. The commission wasn't founded in 2020, or it was founded in November, not in May. That's what it is.
Okay,
Yeah, so there is just a couple of dates.
all right. Well, I move that we vote to approve those factual changes.
I second it. So we'll start with Sophia.
She heard. I don't know if she heard you.
Sophia, you're muted.
Sorry. I'm okay with the changes. You may.
So yeah, Kim.
Yay.
Yay, yay.
And yeah.
Okay.
All right, so now we're moving on to voting on a new meeting time.
So I guess starting out, like who does have a conflict with this meeting time? Sophia, did you say that you have a conflict with this meeting time?
No. Today I was just trying to make sure if we had enough people in person. I just said maybe it was
okay.
easier for me to,
Yeah, he said he could come
Zoom,
anytime
yeah.
on Wednesdays.
yeah.
I'm just checking.
Deja,
I thought he said
are you able to pull up the color thing?
Oh, that schedule, yeah.
I don't know what the word for that.
And maybe, maybe Ashley can do it.
Yeah,
The color thing?
I can pull that up though.
Yeah, do you have your box?
I just wanted to pull up specific, because I think Tyler is the one who's tough to schedule around, and I think he said,
Wednesday, after a certain time.
yeah, but I wanted to find out what it was exactly.
It was,
I think I have
Yes.
already signed up for the availability I did. Mhm.
Okay. No,
There's that email now.
yeah, so you said in that thread,
Did you
I
find
updated
it?
my availability, and I would be able to be free Wednesdays anytime after 12 p.m. If I'm
Okay.
able to tell my employer we'd be meeting on Wednesdays instead of Thursdays in the beginning of the month.
And so according to that schedule, the earliest we could meet is at 4:20, because it says Sophia is available after 4:20. Is that still right, Sophia? The earliest you
day
can
is
meet on
this?
Wednesday?
Wednesday?
Yeah. Today.
I think for the regular schedule, that's fine unless there is something unforeseen happens. And right now, according to my work and class schedule at IU, this timing works for me. So this timing is based on my schedule at IU. So yeah, I think I will be fine on Wednesdays after 4:20.
Do you want to make it 4:30?
I was gonna say, could it be 4:30?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm a early bedtime person. so-
Me too.
So is there a motion to change the?
I move that we vote to change our regular meeting time to, is it still gonna be the first Wednesday, the first week? Is everyone still good with that?
I think,
So the first Wednesday at 4:30 PM.
Second,
First Wednesday of October, right?
of all.
Well, of every month.
every month.
Okay.
So we can take a voice vote on that. So Thea,
Okay, so it's gonna be every month first Wednesday at 4:30, correct?
Yeah, yes.
That works for me. Yay.
Yay,
Yay.
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 Yeah.
Passes by zero?
That's 5-0.
Can't believe you made it through this agenda.
All right.
Great job, guys.
Other business?
Any other business? We can propose any?
And yeah, I mean, other business or topic suggestions. Since we have,
I think I already
Limited
made some
time.
suggestions, but when there were more community members, and yeah, I mean, we already have a plan with Kamala working out for the outreach committee. We already have plan for movie screening. We met with Matthew today. I think I have already mentioned a few ideas. It's in the agenda based on the last conversation. So is there anyone who would like to do any new initiative in the near future?
What kind of initiative are you suggesting?
We have already mentioned a number of things, but we never had any plan how to do, what to do, who can help, how is the funding. So a number of people, I think, discussed in the last meeting, as far as I recall, but maybe a few of them have resigned. I'm not sure. So we already discussed that the proposal needs to be proposed by a member. We figured this out. I think you wrote in the agenda what we had discussed in the last meetings, right?
yeah, so right now, we're just asking if there's any other business or topic suggestions that we would like to discuss now.
No, I don't have. I already mentioned our topics. You already wrote it in the agenda. That's all I have right
Think of
now.
any, you can always reach out before next meeting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because we have these other projects going on doesn't mean that you're not able to suggest a new topic if that's something that you choose to do and you want to spearhead.
Yeah, we can always communicate by email, and I can see the more planning on this because I'm sorry I missed the outreach meeting, and maybe a few emails I haven't received, or for some reason I didn't see. I might have missed some points, but I'm open to work with Kamala on her project. For she already mentioned what she wants to do. I already mentioned that I said yay. And if there is anything else I can do for you, Kamala, for your guest speaker, for you, like handouts or printing, preparing materials, communication, I'll be very happy to help you on that. Okay.
All right. We're looking to schedule the next meeting, so we'll be able to discuss that then. All right. Thank you so much.
I would just mention that, we have heard back or I heard back from the staff liaison for the Human Rights Commission that at least one member of that commission had feedback for us, or has feedback for us on the letter to Mayor Hamilton that they would like to have revised before they would consider endorsing it. So to me, that is someone saying they would consider voting to endorse it on behalf of the Human Rights Commission. And I really think that it'd be nice if we could attend the next meeting, which is Monday, September 18th at 5 to 6:30. And I have my class at that time. And I've already reached out to Jason. He's actually chairing a meeting at his church, and he's gonna be asking them to endorse the letter at that meeting.
Doing the good work.
And be sure to share the report with them in advance so they can read it, because they can vote. Okay, good. And so I was gonna reach out, but we have some time in the meeting to do that. If Patty or Sophia and or Cammie, Cammie, you could always attend. You could always attend online. Oh, okay. You're busy at that time.
I don't know if I'm busy at that time, but I'll see about doing it virtually. I'm not
did
sure.
notice that they did not seem to have a virtual component at the last meeting that we went to. Or if they did, they didn't have like a screen up. So I'm not sure that that's an option. I think that I am. I just read your email.
Yeah, I just
a little bit earlier, but I will.
So it's a possibility.
I have a potential conflict, but I should know tomorrow sometime if I can go.
Well, and my class is at 6, and so I could go if they would actually put us on the agenda. But last time, as you remember, we actually had like the last 10 minutes of the meeting.
It was at the very end.
And I wouldn't be able to attend. It would be right during my class, so. And I'm guessing that he's not planning to put us on the agenda.
Yeah, no.
Even though I asked. I think he would just have us speak during public comment.
Well, no, yeah, I don't think that's something that he's open to. I should probably be able to go, but I will email tomorrow about that.
So, and Sophia, do you know if you're available Monday at 5 to 6:30?
You mean Monday,
The 18th.
18th? Let me see. Monday 18th, I have one plan, but hasn't confirmed yet. If it doesn't work, I might just send an email to you. Is it at 5:30, you said?
5 to 6:30.
5 to 6:30. Okay, I'm taking a note.
Unfortunately, you have to sit through the whole meeting.
So if the other plan hasn't confirmed, then I can just contact you. Is it going to take place in a church?
No, here at City Hall. It's the Commission on Human Rights.
Okay. All right. I already put on my calendar if there is any changes to my plans. On September 18th, I'll let you know.
Well,
Yeah, we
hopefully.
can go.
Patty is not.
Inshallah,
Yeah,
inshallah, it shall be here.
Inshallah. God willing, things change.
Yes.
Universe willing, God willing, however you interpret,
Correct. Inshallah.
Inshallah, yeah. Things might change and I might be able to come.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yeah, well, it's Arabic.
It means
just
God willing.
God willing. Okay.
Like all the Middle Eastern countries say it.
Mm-hmm.
But the context might change
It's like
depending
saying
on the country.
hopefully, it's like saying hopefully.
Yeah, some countries actually using it when they don't have any hope in a situation.
Right.
Like, you know, when there's no hope, some Muslim countries use like.
Says that God
But
willing.
it depends on the
there's any
context, yeah, and it depends also how you use your tone. If
All right,
someone
so-
says like willingly, inshallah, like this, it means like I really ask God. But if someone says inshallah, it's like it's not gonna, you know. So look for the
If there
cues.
are no other topics.
Interpret it, but you like we are using our goodwill, so it means like God willing, universe willing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was
Good
helpful.
intention.
I was curious.
Well, inshallah, if there are no other topic suggestions, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
I seconded it.
All right.
Yay.
Okay.
And we don't even need to vote.
Moved and seconded.
We're doing
Thank you.
too much.
Bye, bye, Sophie.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
So see you. Bye
Have a
bye.
nice night.
You too.
Salam alaikum.